Mr. Clyde.
Thank you, Chairman Rogers. Attorney General Garland, as I understand it, the Hatch Act generally prohibits federal employees from lobbying Congress on legislation while on the job. Last week, when the House was considering legislation to reform and reauthorize the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, did you or anyone in your office make phone calls to members of Congress urging them to oppose the Biggs Amendment to require the government to obtain a warrant prior to spying on American citizens through FISA Section 702? A yes or no will suffice.
The Hatch Act and the Constitution permit the members of the President's administration to speak with members who are interested in questions about the effect of legislation, just like you are asking me today about effects.
If we ask, that's one thing, but if we don't ask and you actually reach out, that's a different thing.
That does not violate any law of any kind.
Okay, will you answer my question?
Yes, I discussed the vital United States interest in extending 702 with members.
How many members did you call?
I'm not going to get into my conversations with members.
I'm not asking about the conversation. I'm asking about how many members did you call?
I'm not going to get into that question, but I'm telling you that there is nothing unlawful. This is the basic.
On March 3rd, 2024, at the Tabernacle Baptist Church in Selma, Alabama, you made comments regarding our country's elections and election security laws passed by various states. Specifically, you claimed that democracy was under attack by, and I quote, discriminatory, burdensome, and unnecessary restrictions on access to the ballot. Attorney General, do you believe requiring an ID to vote in a federal election is discriminatory? Yes or no?
I spoke at the
just yes or no.
iconic church from which the March for Voting Rights began.
Just a yes or no will be fine.
The answer is the Supreme Court's decision says that undue burdens on voting rights caused by voter IDs can be unconstitutional, but that
What?
the burdens. That's right. That's what the Supreme
Voter ID can be unconstitutional.
It can be, depending on the burdens and the discriminatory way in which they are taken. This is
Okay, so do you think it's important to positively identify every voter to ensure that they are a legal voter? I think, as you called it, a legitimate voter.
no. You have to be a United States citizen. You have to meet the qualifications for to be a voter. It's important that only those people vote.
So how do you prove that? I mean, how do you prove what a person is if you don't require ID? I mean, you require ID to get on an airplane. They're not going to let you on an airplane.
I don't know what your
illegal, I
experience
guess.
has been, but I have voted every year my entire life, and I've never been asked to show an identification.
I have always been asked to show identification.
Well, then we have, but
Wow.
somehow the democracy has gone on without.
Attorney General Garland, do you believe that illegal aliens residing in the United States should be allowed to vote in federal elections? Yes or no?
No.
All right, great. We agree on something. Other than U.S. citizens, are there any other legitimate voters?
You have to be a U.S. citizen to vote in the federal
You must be a
election.
U.S. citizen. Okay, great. All right. I ask unanimous consent to add this to the record, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir. This is a poster found in the city, outside the city of Matamoros. It was posted around the migrant camps, and it is a poster from HIAS, the Immigrant Aid Society. And this particular poster says, the Resource Center is a 6-unit complex that is home of HIAS. And at the very bottom, it says, reminder to vote for President Biden when you are in the United States. We need another year of your mandate to stay open. That's what this poster says. Reminds illegal immigrants to vote for President Biden. So, is the Department of Justice concerned about illegal aliens voting in federal elections?
The Department of Justice is concerned about any illegalities with respect to voting. I've never seen that poster. I've never heard of that poster. That's the first time I've ever heard anybody even mention that poster.
Well, now you have. So, if any non-citizens vote in federal elections, are you going to prosecute them at the federal level?
Anybody violates the voting laws, and if there are federal voting laws, then we will investigate and prosecute as appropriate.
All right, that's good to hear. I appreciate that. With the additional money you asked for the Civil Rights Division, I hope that you prosecute illegal voting. Now, last year you promised to provide the prosecution of crime statistics for the city of Washington, D.C. for the last 5 years. It was a question that I asked you. I have not yet received them. So I'm asking you again today, do you commit to provide these statistics? the prosecution of crime statistics for the city of Washington, D.C. Will you provide these in the next 30 days?
I'll ask my staff to get in touch with yours. I don't know what the problem is with respect to providing those. It doesn't seem like there should be a problem.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate your commitment to provide them, Attorney General. And my time's expired, and I yield back.
Attorney General, you have the power to free Julian Assange.
Committee will be in order.